Hi, it's Jasmine Lee. I am recording my final journal reflection for the course. I'm going to go through the questions that were given to us, talk about um, overall the big ideas, what I've learned throughout the course, what I'm going to take away, and how I'm going to change as an educator after taking this class. I think that my biggest aha moment, my biggest, this is exactly what I'm not doing and what I need to be doing, is when we went through and learned about the 5 different ways to represent a function, which I couldn't answer on my pre-assessment, but now I can. The 5 different ways to represent a function. And I'm glad it wasn't just me. I mean, even throughout the other people in the course and listening to them, whether it was high school, middle school, whatever it was, they were saying, yeah, well, I sort of teach functions. I teach tables, then I teach graphing lines, then I teach word problems afterwards. And it's not all together. And I know that's something that I'm definitely going to be doing no matter what class it is I'm teaching, whether it's pre-algebra, algebra 1, geometry, algebra 2. I need to incorporate that because a lot of the students don't understand that. And I think of all the things that I learned in this class, that is the biggest one. That is the thing that I will take back and change immediately. Another big thing that I learned from this course is using manipulatives. I know I like to do a lot of hands-on activities. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do not just straight lecture. I have an 84-minute block in which I have to be creative. I have to have the kids moving. I have to do something. But manipulatives were something that I never really knew how to do. And it showed when, when we had them out and we were working on them, whether they were the base 10 blocks or the algebra tiles or even just the other blocks, like things like that. Like I didn't know how to use them mathematically and what to do. And now that I've learned how to do that, that's something that I'm definitely going to be using throughout my teaching now. I mean, generally, especially with my visual model, what I was saying there, I mean, right along the lines of same thing. I think that no matter if we come from elementary, middle, or high school, we all have the same end goal in mind, and that is to help students be successful. And that should be our number 1 priority. And all of us, I mean, I'm sure we are all excellent teachers and we all try our best for students to do well, but being in classes like this enhance your level of understanding, not only from you teaching and like bringing these problems that we didn't think of or these ways of thinking, but from talking to other people from different school districts, from different grade levels, from having that communication to say, oh, why do this or oh, why do that. And throughout the course, no matter what the topic was, whether it was functions or a certain word problem or I can't even think of right now. There's so many. There'd be times where somebody raised their hand and be like, well, this is how I do it in my class. And somebody else would say, well, this is how I do it in my class. And I'm like scrambling to jot it all down because that's how I want to do it in my class too. And, that communication and the fact that we were able to talk is so, so, so beneficial. And it's something that I'm going to miss now that I'm done with these classes, is being able to communicate and talk to other teachers and get more ideas and get feedback and say, well, I tried this, you should try it in your class, or I modeled this with my Algebra 2 class. This is how we can change it for your Algebra 1 class. And that's the kind of things that I'm going to miss. Let me see if I made sure I talked about all the things I needed to. I'm different from when I walked into class Monday. Number 1, I think manipulatives is a big thing. I have all those manipulatives, but I never use them because I never knew how. So that's something I'm going to be using. And also just, being able to take any problem and know how to enrich it or bring it down to like an elementary level or like a low learner level. That's something that it wasn't a main focus of the class, but it's something that I learned throughout the class with having elementary, middle, and high school people all in one table, all in one classroom setting. That's something that I'm going to take from the class as well. Any topic, any problem that we talked about, that was something that you put up to discussion for us. And I think that that was very beneficial. Um, I hope that answers all of the questions. Thank you very much for everything this semester.